Hey, crotch rot. I'm gonna slurp my lifer's juice out of my own gum.
Yeah, I guess I should have gotten shots beforehand.
Anything else, General?
No, that's fine.
What are all those medals?
I'll never tell. At least not while the sun's shining.
I don't know why that always tickles me. Gown, gown, chicka, gown, gown, chicka, chicka. I love that theme song. That's fucking awesome tune. Good morning,
New
everybody.
music to bounce to now.
Yeah, well, I've had that for a
That
while.
intro.
That used to be the opening theme to when we did that group show between Sil Abdul, 24/7 Fusion Media, Arwen. We did a show together, and that show died a terrible death. And so now I took it for Military Monday. I like it. It's a good theme song. Yes, it is. It's so nice. So Dragon Rose is here already, and so is John Osteen. Good morning.
There's D-Bud.
D-Bud Martin just popped in, going, "Hey, motherfuckers." So it is Military Monday, one of my favorite days. I've been talking to a lot of my military vet buddies. I know a lot of people don't realize this, that Don Ecker is not my only veteran buddy. But look, Don Ecker is here.
Hey.
I guess I should have got my shots ahead of time.
You should have got your shot. But I'm trying to get more vets to jump in with Don and me on Wednesday for our Dangerous Military Nerd Show, because I know a bunch of them in a group, and but every single time I pop in there and say something, they get all of a sudden they get trepidatious. They get like, I don't know about that subject. It's like, Jesus Christ. But I don't know. Don and I wing it. We can talk about anything. That's why I like hanging out with
Hell,
Don.
I don't know nothing about nothing. I
don't know anything. I know that Bill's here. I'm glad he's here.
Yep.
He went into urgent care this weekend because he's got I'm assuming it was bronchitis, because when I heard him, how long ago was it the first time I heard him rattle? And I said something, he goes, "Nah, this is what I sound like," because he's a 12-pack a day smoker, and like my dad, he just rattles, he's got one of those voices. I love his voice. And but on Friday, it's Saturday show, I heard him talking. No, it's Friday show, Friday. And I'm like, dude, and I couldn't say anything because I'm like, oh, he's just gonna tell me again, it's just the way I sound, and I'm like, whatever, Bill. But then he goes to urgent care, and I'm like, ha! I was right. That fucker is sick.
But it's harder for me to say, Ma, I'm doing the show.
No, sound great. You still sound great doing it.
Oh my God! But
Yeah,
Son
also
for
we've got that recorded, Bill. Don't worry.
and
Yeah,
I
oh
want
my
to
God.
say that, I have to say that we have a private chat with all of us together.
Yeah.
I want to thank all of you for all the well wishes, and it really made me feel. It really made me feel good when I saw that. I just want
Well,
to.
we care about you, Bill. You're a friend. You're not just the producer of our show. You're part of this family now. And
You're
I like
stuck with
looking
us.
down. I like seeing your happy face. In fact, I was going to invite you to start jumping in with us on Fridays, because you are a nerd. I love that if you go,
I didn't think it's all of you, but yeah.
but you're on Skype, and your freaking icon at the end of your name is an X-wing. It's like, you're a nerd. You know it. It's fine.
But like yesterday, when during the Dark Side of the Ring show with the guys, John was on it. He knows his stuff, boy.
Yeah,
Now-
when he opens his mouth, it's usually he's throwing out casting pearls.
But who won? Do we have an idea? Who won the overall picks, John? Because I know you could have tied, right? I think he could have tied.
No, because I didn't do the first night, so I officially wasn't in the running. But I won
last night.
I technically won last night, but overall it's still Joe because nobody could catch him. And we were all wrong about the last match. I went 5-1. That's the only one I didn't pick right was the Cody Rhodes.
But didn't you
Roman Reigns?
And I don't mean to take this away from Military Monday. This is my fault, everybody. So blame me. But didn't everybody pick that match for that?
Yes, we all picked Cody to win, and yeah, we all lost that one. Yeah.
Wow.
But I was the only one that picked Edge, and because I did it out of nostalgia, and plus it was a cage match with tables, ladders, and chairs, so that's right up Edge's alley.
Tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my!
Anyway, I love the hat, by the way, Gary.
Yeah, I love it too, man. By the way, they sent me those shirts that are like I made the joke that the shirts they sent me would be like sending a grown adult a small.
Well,
Homer Simpson putting those on, my belly would just be all.
Oh my gosh! Well, anyway, have a great show.
You doing a giveaway with them because they are extra larges, and
I don't even know if I've ever seen Rescue Dawn. How old is that film?
That came out in 2007.
Six. It was filmed in 6 and released in 7.
Yeah, there you go. Released in 07. Because I remember where I was when I saw it, and a lot of times that's my memory with movies is time periods and where I was, what I was doing. And that movie hit me hard, man. I'd already seen the documentary that got put out back in the 90s that Werner Herzog had done called Little Dieter Needs to Fly.
Yeah.
And what an amazing documentary.
And they updated the document as an addendum at the end with his ceremonial burial on Arlington, I think.
Arlington. He's buried at Arlington.
So what time period are we talking? Vietnam? Like what?
He was Vietnam. He was right in the very beginning phases of Vietnam. He was a pilot.
66.
He went over and was shot down on his first flight.
On an illegal mission.
He was shot down over Laos.
Wow.
He refused to eject.
Yeah,
he refused to eject out of his plane, took it all the way down and crashed it. And because I think in his mind, he was thinking, I don't want to be in the air very long because we're over Laos. I'm going to take this in. I have a better chance of survival. So he crashed and the plane split in half and he was thrown from the plane.
Wow.
And the stuntman, it was the only scene that Christian Bale didn't do his own stunt. Bale did all of it, the actors, 2 actors, him and Steve Zahn did all their own stunts, and including the rapid scene. That was the stuntman. He got burned doing that scene when the plane split in half, and but immediately they were on him, and he was fleeing for his life. Now, one big difference, they talk about it in the documentary, but not in the movie, is that he was actually captured twice. And in the movie, when you see him get captured, that is actually the second time he was captured. He escaped twice.
Wow.
And the story is just so phenomenal because they made a mistake in the film, and it was after the movie was released that the family of Martin, Martin, the CIA guy, he was Air Force, but he worked for the CIA. And he is not the villain that he's made out to be in the film. Herzog, when he learned about this, wished he had learned beforehand.
You can't call it a mistake, though. They didn't know.
It's not. It's just, it is what it is. Because that was what he knew at the time when he made the film. Later, it was learned that he did go missing again. Because that guy, for whatever reason, didn't show up where he was supposed to. And during the escape mission. And for that reason, Dieter cut him off, wanted nothing more to do with him. So he went off on his own. He got recaptured, escaped again, and then went missing. Has never been found. He's still missing in action.
That was Eugene.
right?
Eugene from Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah.
So, does anybody here know where that movie is available to view, to see it?
I can find out real quick.
I got to see this film now.
Where to watch?
Even though I'm gonna get all kinds of spoilers if I watch it here, right?
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's available on Prime, it says.
Oh, good.
And it may be available on HBO Max. It
got
says
both.
it's available on Roku too.
I don't have Roku, but I have the other two.
And I own it. I bought it and made a copy of it when I bought it. And that movie, just for the budget, it was a $10 million film, very low budget for today.
Oh God!
Shot that film with $10 million, and it's the only film of Werner Herzog's, and he is one of my favorite directors of all time, that came close to making budget. It made $7.5 million in the theaters. It was not marketed. Barely anybody saw that thing, really, to be honest with you.
I didn't see it in the theaters.
But it is a gem. It is an absolute gem of a movie.
Well,
and what he did with that budget is every penny is in that movie.
I wonder, and Don is here, and Don obviously served in Vietnam, and he was injured.
Oh, that was in Korea.
But Don, I want your opinion on this film, since you would.
He's not seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
He will be seeing this film strip as we go through it today, but he has not seen it, and we've got it queued up right now. Here, I'm going to bring it up right now. And what I love about this is the film opens up with this beautiful score, and the slow motion images of actual bombing mission.
Wow.
That was used in the documentary too. It's in the documentary. And I thought this is a beautiful way to start the film. I think one of my favorite moments, and I really want to get Don's reaction to that scene. It's because he likes this actor. You remember Cop Shop, right, Don?
Oh, yeah.
The psycho balloon guy?
Oh, yeah.
He plays his wingman in this.
Well, I'm going to sit back and watch this like everybody else and enjoy the show. So, and John Ostains, yes, I do have the best metal shirts. Great to see you, Father Ostains. Anyway,
by the way, Bill,
and of course, Anima. Go ahead.
I want to do the drawing through KGRA for these shirts. That way, it's I hate doing drawings through our channel.
Well, I'll make the announcement. In Utah, they do have the phone lines all ready to go. I'm not set yet, so maybe you might want to do that on a Dangerous Military Nerd show.
All right, we'll do the announcement. You and I can talk after the show and plan it out.
Have a great show to all of you. Thank you again for all your well wishes, and everybody in the chat. Enjoy the show and have a great Monday. So I'm out.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
You're welcome.
All righty, get back to the chat before we go. Let's see. What do we got here right now? We got LDG, Free the Net. Andy Morrow is here. And, of course, D-Bud, Martin Dragon Ruse, and John Ostains is here already. Good morning, guys. Hope everybody's having a good day. Oh, Monkey Jeebus? I didn't see him listed. So, yep, there he is. WW sold. Yes, I saw that. I saw that this morning, dude. Yeah. So it was confirmed this morning. Big news.
Yeah, we broke that on the watch along, the Royal Rumble watch along.
That's really cool, dude. That's a huge deal. What do you think it's going to mean for WWE? Are they going to make some changes?
Well,
clean it up a little bit.
I think. Well, the problem is
because this isn't a purchase; it's a merger, right?
No, they're buying WWE.
So they bought it,
and they're gonna combine it into one company with UFC. And what it is the current owner is going to be president, and then the Vince McMahon is going to be he's going to be like the number 2 guy,
right?
So yeah, I don't know how that's going to work because Vince McMahon has lost his damn mind. If you look at him, he looks like
he's insane.
He's gone back to he's dyeing his hair black. He's got like a pencil mustache now. He looks like a villain.
Because he's always been a villain.
Yeah, I know, but he looks like a cheesy villain.
But
now.
he believes it. There's something wrong with that guy.
Yeah.
And there's stories I've heard about him with Roddy Piper that are not good.
No, they're
what
not.
he did to Roddy. And it messed Roddy up till his death. Because I've wanted to tell Roddy's story for a long time. And I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to. Maybe do a graphic novel. I don't know. So, but it would be done only if the family were involved with it.
Yeah.
Because I have that contact through Cody Knotts, the director I do a lot of work with. But here we go. There he is, Don. That's the guy that played the Psycho. And there's the dude that played Quado.
Yep.
Yeah.
Total Recall. And this dude is so funny. He's that guy that makes fun of the training film, learning how, and everything in this training film, Don, everything in this training film comes to life in his actual experience. They actually depict it, and I thought that was clever to put this exact survival film in there. And he's just digging into this guy. Cut that leaf. Oh, it didn't cut. Blade's not sharp enough. I guess throw some salt and pepper on that leaf.
Most of them are making fun of it.
He's the one doing the loud stuff. He's riffing it. Nobody else is. He's the only one riffing it.
Christian Bale's a hell of an actor.
Yeah, he is.
And he did Terminator 4. Okay.
He was good in that.
When he did Terminator 4, you will remember that there was an incident where one of the production guys walked past the camera. Bale lost his freaking mind.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was on that set when he went after the. I think he was the lead camera operator, or
and wanted that poor bastard fired. Okay, and I got to tell you, Bale, boy, he lost a shitload of my respect when he did that. So I kind of got mixed feelings about Bale, for whatever that's worth.
He's of that method thing,
yeah.
And right here, that's true. He went in there and asked for all these changes to his gear in case he crashes, and all of that stuff helped him. In the real Dieter Dingler. God, this is such a good movie. He's getting the mission. They're going to be going in there, and they're going to be going in low and hot on this mission. And I think that ends up being and they kind of show it in the film, because he's flying so low. When his explosives go off, he's not hit from ground fire. His plane is hit by debris from the explosion of his own bombs. I think that's what they were trying to depict in that. And yeah, he does look like Dale Gribble. He really does.
I had to laugh at the scene where he requests all these changes to his gear, and the guy distributing the gear, he's so pissed.
You're my only customer, so yeah, I'll be glad to do it.
He is so annoyed.
He's annoyed, but at the same time, seeing that you're my only client. And of course, I love this scene. You know, I love all the shots in this movie. They did an interesting thing here budgetarily with the plane, and it works really well with the CG planes, and they look fairly real despite the excess of humidity in the shot. But Vietnam was a very humid country.
Yeah, and they shot it in Thailand, so they had the same environmental circumstances.
Well, Thailand's right across the river from it.
Yeah.
And
but the fact that they really did it in the jungle.
And that's kind of what I wanted to ask you about, Don, is there's a lot of shots in this film that look like a lot of the photography I've seen from Vietnam. And see if you think they got it right.
Well, now, Vietnam had believe it or not, a lot of different environmental and not all of it was jungle. Where I was up north, we had a lot of mountains and a lot of scrub, and then you had the Asia Valley, which in fact was a hell of a lot of jungle.
Right.
But not all of it was jungle, but where this movie took place, from everything I understand, Laos was had Buku Jungle. So
yeah, and there's the crash scene, and he is hauling ass because they're already shooting at him. They're on the ground chasing him.
What was he flying?
Sky Raider.
Was it a Sky Raider?
Yeah,
yeah, Sky Raider.
Boy,
I know he was very fond of the P-51 because that's what shot at him when he was in Germany.
They were one hell of an airplane, boy.
Now, there's something that they get in this that you don't get in a lot of other films is kudzu. I have personal experience with kudzu, and I hate that shit.
Yeah.
It is the canopy you see in a lot of jungle, and it comes from Southeast Asia and Japan. And it has come here to the U.S., and it is voracious in the state of Virginia where I grew up. It took over a lot of the forestry. And that shit, you got to kill it because it will kill the plant life below it.
You know, there was an incident where a Sky Raider shot down a North Vietnamese MiG-17.
Doesn't surprise me.
Sky
Raiders were the last prop plane used by the Navy, if I remember right.
Oh, and right here, by the way, he's doing everything that they showed in the film strip.
Yep.
Yeah.
He paid attention.
He paid attention.
Well, he does something that the film strip doesn't tell. That is what his commander officer told him, that get rid of the radio. Use it once and get rid of it.
Yeah, hide it because it will get you killed. Absolutely. Good morning, Penny. Hi.
Yeah. Because the VC used their frequencies.
And I got to tell you again, I'm confused with this. I'm glad you brought that up, Anima. I'm confused when I'm looking at VC and when I'm looking at North Vietnamese in this movie, because I always thought the VC wore tan and the North Vietnamese wore green.
Well, it's not.
I'm asking Don. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
VC, primarily, at least the ones that I'm familiar with, were usually in black pajamas. But
with the rice.
We looked that up, Gerry.
Right.
But in this, you see some people that he's had to deal with that look like they're, at first they look like Chinese because they got the red star.
Well, remember Firebase Gloria?
Yeah.
They did have VC regulars.
Right, with the pith helmet and everything.
Right.
But you like, here's this scene that scared the hell out of Anima. Like, why is he climbing up there? And I'm like, he's trying to get a lay of the land, and at the same time, if there's aircraft,
he's trying to signal
he's
to
trying
the,
to be
to the
seen by them.
Yeah.
But he's got the enemy chasing him. Because right now, technically, in reality, he'd been captured once. And he escaped and evaded them again. But they were really in hot pursuit of him because they knew he was out there. And Penny says, good morning to you, Bill, and to Dawn, too.
Guten Abend.
Yeah, he's
actually... And he stands there, and he's like, where are you guys? He's talking to himself, like, hoping to see him. And he's got his little mirror, you know.
He's got his little whistle, too?
Yes.
In Laos.
And this is actually where he was caught the second time. This is stagnant water. I would never go near this. We are taught to look for flowing water.
It always says river, though. He was captured by a river. So I don't know.
This is not flowing water.
It doesn't look like it now.
No, you can see the discoloration in it. There's a fog in it. That's bacteria and stuff.
And that's VC.
And they got the costumes in here. I really like this. His captor, he's smiling. And just to let you guys know, the weight loss in this film was incredible. 55 pounds is what.
Yeah, he lost more than anyone else.
Before they began shooting. They shot this movie backwards. So he would gradually lose weight in the film. But in reality, he came in already lost the weight, and they shot all those scenes and they went backwards of him gaining weight.
Well, I think he lost more weight in The Machinist.
Yeah.
I don't know. He lost 55 in this.
Gerry.
Steve Zahn lost 44 pounds. And the guy that plays Eugene, he lost 33 pounds.
Did you know that the director lost weight too?
I'm not surprised. This is a rough shoot. There were no trailers.
He did it on purpose to be with these guys.
Got it.
Out of respect. for what they did to prepare for the movie.
They absolutely are torturing this guy, Don.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
And he shits himself here because they won't untie him to let him go to the bathroom. And he yells at him, "What's wrong with you? Why wouldn't you let me go to the bathroom? I've shit myself."
Because he's speaking English. They do not understand.
That's what I said.
No, it's bullshit. They know exactly. Whether they understand the language or not, they understand. This is what makes me hate these characters so much, because they, you come to our country, we're going to brutalize you. They don't understand the concept of decency. And
they're commies.
And they're commies. Absolutely. Hey, Joe. Joe's not going to join us today because he's giving his throat a break yesterday. I don't know what he was doing with his throat yesterday, John, but he apparently needed a break today.
Well, we had
Just stop talking, Gerry, please.
We had a regular show, then we had a watch along, and it was of WrestleMania Night 2, and it was very exciting, and Joe got into it a lot. And then we did an after show, me and him, on his channel for like 45 minutes. And that took us up to midnight. So
you wore him out.
Hashtag
way to go, John. I wanted to stop here because I learned this from this movie. I had never learned to do this. I've always used what do you call it? Brillo, the scrubbing stuff you use for pots and pans is what I've always used to start fires with. What's that?
Steel wool.
Steel wool. Thank you. Steel wool.
Oh,
because it is a massive, easy thing. You get just that burning a little bit, and then you seed it with some wood and paper. And I'm telling you, man, you've got a fire. I've done it many times. This was so cool learning this, watching this movie, that they hollowed out bamboo and cut it in half and put the stakes up, and they started a fire with that. And I'm like, I tested it. It works. It really works. I'm like, holy shit, this freaking works.
And it's so simple and easy.
I don't like going out in the nature, but I know how to survive in it if I have to.
I fucked up my hands learning to start a fire with Flintstones.
They are the government that started the war. That's not the point, Jeebus. You're missing the point. Doesn't matter who starts the war. Basic human decency when you're on the ground. It's the one thing NATO got right. And Germany ignored it. So did Japan. Yeah, they fires that freaking AK-47 right next to his head. And he goes deaf for a bit. They left the scene out, too, because
he screams at him first, and then he shoots again, and he goes deaf.
Yep. Don't you ever do it again. I will effing kill you, is what he yells.
He loses his shit.
Because, like, he started shooting right next to him. And it unnerves Dieter. And I got to say that when he was captured the first time, this was brought up because it's in the movie that he's still wearing his wedding ring in the film. And but it is a story that took place, and it's mentioned in the documentary that when he was captured the first time, the farmer stole his ring from him. And the NVA officers found out about it, and they went and they cut the farmer's finger off and gave him his ring back.
Scarred him for life. They actually did that scene, but then they cut it out.
They cut it out because it affected the pacing. So they made some changes in the film that it still pays attention to the actual history of what happened to Dieter Dingler. But what a name. I mean, his name just sounds like something from a porn film. Dieter Dingler.
Just to you, Gerry.
But it's just, he's a very German guy, and he tells the story in the film. Christian Bale's character is talking to Steve Zahn, and he's talking about how when he was in his house as a boy in a bombed-out village, that this P-51 Mustang is flying right at him. And his brother and he were in the attic watching this thing. And the canopy was open, the cockpit, and he's firing at him, misses him, of course. And as the plane goes to turn around, he made eye contact with the pilot, who had his goggles up on his helmet. And he said, the minute I saw that, I knew Dieter Dingler needed to fly, and which is the name of the documentary and the book. And it's something that affected him. He says, you're the only, and I love that Steve Zahn says, you're the only guy in the world that somebody would try to kill you and you want their job.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
And of course, the characters in the film are all real, including even the guards, except for one. One of the prison guards in the prison camp is the creation of the director who wrote the screenplay based off of Dieter's life, Werner Herzog. And I think he did a tremendously respectful job of doing this film for those that served and were captured, and even depicting the one little dwarf guard. He was real.
Really?
And in real life, he let him survive. He killed everybody else, and he let that one little guy live because he helped him and he was nice to him. But Dieter killed all the other guards that were there.
No, one managed to escape, and that's why they couldn't stay at the camp, because he was
that's right.
to tell the NBA.
And he'll go and get more people.
That's why they have to head out to the jungle.
And if nobody caught that was marijuana.
Yeah.
There's a bush of marijuana outside that door. Now, this guy, I swear to God, Don, I think is with the NVA. He's with the Communist Party, in fact.
Yeah, well, actually, it's in Laos. It's the Pathet Lao, which is their version of that's their communist faction.
Their faction, okay.
Yeah.
This is a good scene because at first he says, I'm German. But then he confronts him and he says, yes, I am. And he pulls his passport out to give it to the guy. He says, I'm not interested in this war. I only wanted to fly. He says, then if he signed this, and he reads it, and he's like, I can't sign this. I love my country.
He's proud to be American.
I'm proud of this, yeah.
He's not going to turn against them.
Which means you're going to get the shit beat out of you. Sorry, buddy.
That's how patriotic he was.
This would be the fresh water.
That guy was.
Yeah, very patriotic. Very patriotic.
He was offered a way out and he declined because he didn't want to go against his country.
And so they drag him. They really PG'd up what was done to him.
Oh, yeah.
And of all the things, though, Anima goes, I'm so glad they didn't show that he shit himself.
Because they did a very good job making it all look realistic.
He narrates it. You made me shit myself. She was like, oh, I was so afraid they were going to show it.
Chocolate pudding, yes.
But then she has to deal with the scene because Steve Zahn's character, who's a real guy, shit himself every night because he was sick. He was dying. 2 years in that prison camp being tortured.
Dysentery. Yeah.
Well,
now, here they torture him. They tie him to either an ant colony or something. See that guy? That's NVA. Colony, yeah. That's NVA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's being tortured in the hands of the NVA right now, not just the Kong. And by the way, Anima asked me why they're called Charlie. I said, the reason why is because they were called Victor Charlie. And they just dropped the Victor. And they just called him Charlie. And they dunk him in, they put him in this well, man.
That was brutal.
And, he's got to tread water, and they keep pushing him down. And he's got to push himself back up by his feet flipping. What a nightmare, dude. What a nightmare. Now they're transferring him. They're walking him all the way. And whenever they're out in the open, if they hear planes or stuff, man, they get brutal. They hear helicopters. They get brutal. In fact, Steve Zahn's character gets shot in the side of the head.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember, was it helicopters or planes went over? I think it was helicopters.
Helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Little Hitler. That's what he called him in the movie.
Oh.
Little Hitler. Him.
Yeah.
That dude's
He's called
scary.
Little Hitler for a reason.
And the character that was created, the one character is Walkie Talkie, the guy who never talks. And that is absolutely a creation of the director. But all the other guards are based on real people that were in the camp, including the little guy, which he's so sweet. It's like he doesn't even look like he wants to hold his weapon. Yes, they have bamboo toilets with them. And Dieter Dingler figured out how to have it in the bottom section and built a place to hide rice for when they escape. He was constantly figuring shit out, making blades.
From day one. I mean, he's shocked to learn that some of them have been in that camp for 2.5 years.
And they didn't trust him for a while because they weren't sure if he was the real deal or if he was a plant. So
yeah,
they were very apprehensive of Dingler at first. But eventually, they all really got along. In the film, they show that there's difficulties between Eugene and him. But in reality, other people have said that they did get along better than they show in the film.
Well, in the film, Eugene constantly says, they're going to let us go. They're going to let us go. And your plan
he
is
did
just putting
believe
all of
that.
us in
He really
danger.
did by Christmas. We had the Christmas holiday. They're going to let us go. And he's like, they're not going to let us go. So there's this conflict. And what pisses him off is that not only are they in this camp, at nighttime, they are locked up in a way to where the guards think they can't get free. But Dieter's a clever dude. So he's constantly figuring out ways to get free. And he, finds a nail and is able to pick the locks, and he shows. And I've told people I know how to get out of handcuffs. Handcuffs that are still made that way, by the way. You just put something small, like a paper clipper in on one end where the teeth are, you push them in, and it just slides out. It's that easy.
You use different words when you
handcuffs
described
are
that to me
terribly
yesterday.
designed. What is this? Hold on. And the hippie tourist with Stockholm syndrome, he was all about eating bugs back then. Yeah. By the way, hi, Hojo. How you doing, man? Glad you're joining us, dude. It's cool. He's in that military group I was talking about. I'm trying to get those guys to jump in with us sometimes, man. I would really enjoy to get more of our veteran friends involved in these shows because I want to celebrate us being vets. And he's clearly a Jesus hippie kind of dude. Looks like Charles Manson. Because then I saw this movie. I was like, "There's your Charles Manson. That's who needs to play Charles Manson."
Bet he doesn't surf.
But Charlie doesn't surf, man. He's like, "Come on, man. We're gonna get out of here by Christmas, man." So yeah, they walk around with their toilets with them. They have to shit in their own toilets. In their own little bamboo things. The problem is, there's little Hitler. Little Hitler. There's the little guy. He smiles all the time. He's a little dim, but he's very sweet. And when Dieter,
kind of like Monkey Jeebus, huh?
Yeah, kind of like Monkey Jeebus. Yeah. That's right. That is Monkey Jeebus in the movie.
He calls him Cloud. I forgot that.
We expect in war for people to obey the rules of conflict. I mean, we broke the rules too. I mean, according to NATO, you can't shoot somebody with a 50 cal. And we have a hero that killed the shit out of the Germans with a 50 cal. You're only supposed to shoot with NATO rounds, NATO approved rounds. He totally looks like Charlie Manson.
Yeah. 50 cal when you absolutely positively must kill somebody behind your neighbor's refrigerator.
Yeah, wait a minute, Hojo. Did he really? Did he play Charlie Manson? Holy shit.
That's cool.
It's funny because I called it when this movie came out. I'm like, that dude should play Charlie Manson. I got to tell you, Monkey, if you said something like that near me when I was in the military, I'd put a bullet in you. I would have shot you. I wouldn't have killed you. I would have sent you away. I shot you in the foot or leg so you wouldn't be with us. Because I would see you as a risk to the safety and welfare of my men. Anybody that talk like that. I threatened a guy one time. I said, yeah, if we get deployed at this point and you're with us, I'm shooting you. I'm just telling you in advance, it will happen. You can say whatever you want to. I'll do it. I will make sure you are not here to risk the lives of myself or any of our men. I'll pop on one day when work calms down for sure. The comic campaign is killing my spare time. Yeah, come on and talk about your comic campaign, man. Fuck yeah. I'd like to see what you're doing. He's a creator writer. I don't know who did the artwork on your personal page there on Twitter, but I like that artwork. I do. I like that artwork. But this is when he gets them free the first time, and Dwayne, played by Steve Zahn, is able to go poop and not shit his pants.
Yeah, because during the day they're allowed to walk around the camp. And
oh no, that's not it yet. This is it. He gets the nail.
The guards just keep an eye on them, but at night they lock them up so they don't have to keep an eye on them. So
he needs that nail. So he walks over and asks the little dwarf guy, "Can I use some of your toothpaste?" And he's using one finger to brush his teeth, and with the other hand, he's leaning on the pole. But he's pulling the nail out.
Talking to him, distracting him when he's pulling out the nail.
And it's so funny because the guy's like smiling at him, and then when he walks away, he has a bemused, like, what was that about?
Harry, that guy probably doesn't even know that there's a war happening. He doesn't seem too aware of
clearly not a very bright dude, but he's got a sweetheart. There it is. He gets some of the toothpaste, and he's going to brush his teeth. Yeah, he's talking to him. Yeah, I love the taste. I like that good. Oh, and all the time he's working that nail out. Gets back there and he goes, cough every time, while I'm doing this. And he makes a key or something to go into the lock so he can unlock the handcuffs. But
sounds like Sam and Dean Winchester.
Yes, Sam and Dean Winchester. And one of these guys, I forget his name, Phyllis or whatever his name is, Phyllis. He survived part of it, and he's one of the people who gave record of what Eugene was like. But he ended up dying too. He was hanged.
That's how they found
later.
out. Okay.
He was hanged later. But he gave intel on a little bit about Eugene because he spent some time with Eugene when they escaped. You would hire a child army, okay?
That's a messed up thing to say, Monkey.
It's not the first time. I'm drawing a comic right now with a child army.
So, that's a very monkey thing to say.
Very monkey.
Yeah, after being around Monkey for a few months, I've come to one conclusion.
Oh my.
He's a very strange dude.
Very strange guy. You love him, but he's weird.
Here you go. He unlocks the handcuffs, and that is what earns him the trust of the other guys.
Yep, he
gives them a little privacy at night. They can go
and lets Steve Zahn's character Dwayne go and poop. And Dwayne's his best friend. They became best friends while they're in prison together. And the jungle in this is just intense looking. And they're in a valley, surrounded by these mountains. The dog, I'm like, that dog would end up food. I don't know how that dog didn't get eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even the guards were on the verge of starving.
And it's Asia. They eat dogs anyway.
Right.
But even if this wasn't another place of the world, the dog would have been food.
Well, I think they didn't eat the dog because the same reason the prisoners want to be around the dog. The dog, they use him to heal their blemishes on their feet.
And this is where he brings up Thailand, because they got to find Big Muddy, which will take them to the major river that goes straight into Thailand.
Mekong, right?
Yep. The Mekong. They take him to the Mekong Delta. Yeah.
Because once in Thailand, they would be able to contact the Americans.
Speaking of armed chimpanzees, has anybody watched Agent Elvis yet?
No.
That show is nuts. I'm not sure if I like the animation, but I'm enjoying the story.
Oh my God, Jesus.
Mandrills are the villains in one of my comics.
They're scary.
Yeah, they scared the crap out of me. This is where Dwayne gets shot because a helicopter is going over and little Hitler shoots him.
Yeah, because he thinks they somehow managed to contact them. I mean, how? They are in this camp. They have no ways of calling.
This
for the
isn't Hope
Americans.
Heroes, man. You know? So he gets shot in the side of the head by little Hitler. Little Hitler comes in there and starts threatening Dieter. And Dieter just smiles at him. He goes, you know, basically, oh, I'm going to kill you. He tells him, I'm going to kill you.
Shay's here.
I'm going to get my
Shay.
revenge and kill you. Hey, Jay, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, this is not the Philippines though, so that dog.
Yeah, this is Vietnam,
be
but
food.
yeah, I know what you're
Well,
talking about.
technically Laos.
Laos, yeah.
It's supposed to be Laos, but it was shot in Thailand.
Who the hell knows? That shit all looks the same.
Southeast Asia is surrounded by hungry locals and prisoners. No way. And I want to go back and watch because I didn't get to finish it. I haven't watched that little Dieter documentary. It's available on YouTube.
Too.
It's on YouTube.
Let's watch that together.
It's free.
I watched it last night.
And
yes,
it's a very good film. I get emotional watching. I got emotional watching this film.
Oh,
Here's the scene where this is where he starts talking about the scene where he and his brother were in the attic hiding. And he's firing. You can see the machine guns going off, and cockpit was open. He flew by, and he had his cockpit open, and his goggles were on the top of his helmet, so they locked eyes. God only knows if this really happened that way, but in his memory, that's how it happened. It's, this is an emotional moment, and Dwayne's just looking at him like, you're the only person in the world that some guy would try to kill you, and you try to take his job.
They have such a lovely relationship.
Them is so clear. Yeah, it's so clear the way they get along. They're always hugging. In fact, he kisses his head once in one scene, or his shoulder, because he just cares about him so much.
Yeah, and Dwayne really loves the guy because he's giving him hope again.
Yeah,
Dwayne was
he's
gone.
been there.
He'd
He's
given
been there the
up.
longest, 2 years, over 2 years.
Over 2.5 years, I think. And now he has hope again. He totally trusts the guy. He'd follow him anywhere.
Yeah, he says, then stop telling me they're going to release this. If you try and escape, this is the conflict between these two. And Dieter wants to escape while he just wants to stay put.
Yeah, because he believes they are being released until they overhear a conversation about them, the prison.
And that's when he finally caves in and goes,
he planned to kill them and go back to their villages. And that is when he finally says,
well, initially the plan is to take them prisoner and take over the camp.
Yeah, but that backfires.
And it all backfires because he's by himself with a weapon. Even Dwayne is so weak that he takes forever to catch up with him.
Oh, yeah. The problem was there was a guard that has a weapon that wasn't unaccounted for, and that leads to the shootout. If that guard wouldn't have that weapon on him,
these guys are Viet Cong with the pith helmets, right?
Well, NVA wore them too. It's hard to say, but they're uniformed, so I'm going to go with the NVA.
She's NVA because you can tell with her hat. She's got the star.
Look, the NVA ran all through Laos, so yeah.
This is the scene with the piece of broken glass, and he grabs her hand, touches her hand, and says, "I use it to shave," and she smiles at him, and then the smile disappears really quickly. Because he's so charming, even the enemies smile at him. It's just funny. And he starts talking about it. He goes, she smiled at me. Man, if there wasn't a war going on, something would have happened. And then Dwayne's like, aren't you married? Would you have a woman back? It's
he's engaged. He's engaged, not married.
He's engaged, even though that's a wedding band. That's not an engagement band. That's what always threw me.
But his fiance gave it to him to never forget her while he was gone, because they were planning to.
Fissit, that's the guy. Prosit, those are the two other guys, and that were with him. Yeah, the guy gets a new piece of shit machine gun and he doesn't know how it works and he drops it goes off and he drops it and it keeps firing and they're ducking and dodging to avoid getting shot.
That was goofy.
And Bale totally, because he's a method actor and I'm not a big fan of method actors. I think it's bullshit.
Me neither.
But he gets in there and there's the scene where they have to eat worms and they're mealworms. They're not maggots. They say they're maggots. They're not maggots. They're mealworms.
Yeah, a few scenes are really gross.
And he actually begins eating them and on camera talking and eating them. And I'm like, holy shit. And he also eats that snake at the end. He actually,
well, it's protein, dude.
He eats a real snake at the end.
I could not watch that. And I told Gerry, tell me when it's safe. And Gerry goes, safe. And I look back at my screen and he's
but I didn't know she had a delay. She had a delay. And I'm like, oh, not my fault. I didn't know.
It was just a few seconds that I was behind him, but it was not safe yet. Ew.
You could call me, what the fuck is that? Call it what? Shave the bears and call them Yagawi. What is that? Like I've never played Fallout, so I don't know.
Something like Yogi.
Well, you know, when I went into Nam, I weighed about 204 pounds. All right. And after I was there a few months, I had dropped down to about 175. And my damn jungle pants, my jungle fatigues, literally would fall off my butt. I couldn't believe it. I had never in my life been that skinny. So, yeah, Vicky says I'd have loved to seen that.
Hi, Vicky.
This is, this is more establishment of what's going on, and the part of the conflict that ends up going on between him and Eugene. He, and I don't know if this is coming up to that point or not. So at some point here, we're going to probably have to take a break here because we're getting close to break time for the first break. Yeah, we've got 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes. Little Hitler's rifle. I love that. Little Hitler's rifle. Little Hitler.
I got to take a break, but I'll be back.
All righty, sir.
Yeah, they're making.
They are establishing patterns. Yeah, because they have to establish patterns of movement and how routines of the guard.
Yeah. But they're all in now, right?
And the big asset they have is that the guards are unaware that they're unlocking at night and getting out.
Yeah, because that's why they lock them up like that. So they don't have to check on the prisoners at night. And they have no idea.
So they can relax and get some rest.
They have no idea how easy it is to get out of handcuffs.
Yep.
I don't think they're really interested in guarding prisoners. They just want to go back to their villages.
Yeah.
I love this one. This is when he's talking about his fantasy, Dwayne is, food fantasy, and Dieter interrupts it and starts like, why don't you this and Bavarian, and he goes, this is mine. Why do you do that, man? This is my fantasy. And Dieter's just sort of giggling and it was, it's showing he's not perfect. That Dieter is kind of a screw up in his own way by interfering with other people's thoughts and fantasies of food fantasies.
It's one of the games they play to kill time.
You always got to interrupt me, he says, and it hurts his feelings. So this is where they've got the thing set out and they're showing the patterns, where the guards are, when, at what time, blah, blah, blah. And
how many guns and where?
They walk in on him. The guards walk in. There he is, sees this. That's walkie-talkie. He doesn't talk. He sees this and gets really menacing. And he goes, it's a game. It's a game. And he shows it's like backgammon or something. And pretends like it's a game. I win. And so the guard lets it go. Even though that was showing the patterns and where the guards are at what times.
Yeah, but that dude probably wasn't too bright too.
None of them are. You know, they're all one step up over Villager. And so here he goes out for the first time to dig out under the fence and then put soft earth back over the spot where he just dug out. And that way it'll be easier to dig it again later. And
It's
that's
a
where
really
they're going
clever plan.
it's the one spot where they'll be able to get out of the fence and go around. And the plan is that one group goes one way around the entire perimeter and the other team goes the other way. And they meet at the kitchen is the plan, where they'll be eating and take the guards hostage.
So originally they just want to turn the situation around.
Yep.
And then wait out until help arrives. But it's never that easy.
And look how thin Zahn is, man. And everybody has known him up to this point as a comedic actor. He nails this character, and how he didn't get a nomination for this role is shameful.
It really is.
He should have gotten a nomination for his performance as Dwayne. A real guy, you know, and he played it so beautifully. He's sad, tragic, and real in his performance.
I think it's time for the break.
Yeah, we got 30 seconds, so I'm going to pause the movie here, and we will be back right after the break. Bill, take us away. Or not. Hi, guys, this is Gerry from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
Did you know 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated? If you struggle with focus, run low on energy, or when it's time to finally sleep, you simply can't, this can all be linked to dehydration, and Fuel Up has the answer. Our proprietary formula contains the finest cellular hydration with the strongest immune-enhancing natural ingredients. The Fuel Up system is made up of 3 different incredibly tasting varieties. Wake kickstarts your day with a jolt of caffeine. Play boosts focus while hydrating your cells. Rest not only helps you relax, but also rejuvenates your cells while you sleep. Here's what our clients have to say.
I really don't miss my coffee, and you can tell the difference.
So I'm going to take it for the energy. I'm going to take it for the play. I'm going to take it, all day.
And it works. That's the thing. It works. We love it.
Take the Fuel Up Challenge now, where we offer a Feel the Difference money-back guarantee. Fuel Up for life.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh, wow, we survived. Welcome back to the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA. Boogity boogity. So we're at our second hour, and we are back with the rest of this movie. And this is where the one guy, they got confused where he says, I am out. Oh, crap. I lost my place. He says, you are out. He says, I am out. And he says, you're out. You don't want to be in the plane. He goes, no, I want out. It was a language thing. He goes, oh, okay. You're in.
I can relate with that.
I laughed.
Yeah, but this dude is American. It's his native language. You're excused for mixing things up sometimes.
Oh, no. He was not American. He was one of the, I think he was from Thai.
Oh.
Yeah. That said it. It was funny. He was trying to say, I went out too, but he's like, you're out. And this is when they get filled the worms, the maggots.
So
and
gross.
Once again, the dedication of Chris to
I really ate them.
Make it as believable as possible. He starts eating the worms while talking.
He's really messed
Protein's not going to kill you. Dwayne won't eat it. Dwayne's like, I'd rather starve to death. Which he is. He's suffering from a condition called failure to thrive. That's where your body is eating itself, your brain, muscles, everything. It's going into atrophy. Well, actually, a lot of people think that prisons were used in the original story that inspired the Dirty Dozen. It was actually the 505th, I think, Airborne Regiment, and they were called the Filthy 13, but they weren't prisoners. But the military is notoriously used. For D-Day, we used a dead man. Homeless guy.
Yep.
Released his body to, trick the Germans.
Hi, Sax.
Hey, Kyle. What's up, buddy? But I don't know if prisoners have ever actually been used in war because, one, your point of sending soldiers into anything is to win. So you want guys that actually know how to fight. To go in. So sending in prisoners is sort of a dumb idea. If your plan is to win. If your plan is to lose, sending prisoners might be a good idea. Lose that battle. Because they're not disciplined. They don't know how to fight. So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious. I could look it up, see if we've ever used actual prisoners, because I don't know if we ever have.
It would be interesting to know, yeah.
So now we're leading to that situation where they overhear the conversation and they start listening in, right? Or is this when he's punishing Eugene and refuses?
They're being punished because another helicopter flies by and they think
again that they're communicating somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, how?
Well, they're just paranoid. They're just paranoid.
Telepathy.
Oh, this is when he's losing it. Yeah, he's like, I can't take it anymore. Because this is after Eugene was punished. Because Eugene started acting like a puss about everything, and so Dieter refuses to uncuff them. And again, I point out, dog's licking that dish. I'd be licking my chops thinking about that dog at that point, no matter how much I love dogs. Although I do like the story, A Boy and His Dog, he kills the girl and eats her so his dog can live. What a messed up movie.
The thing with Eugene is Dieter is sort of in command now of them, and they all follow his orders, but Eugene, he's constantly questioning and
everything,
acting weird, and that's just pissing him off. He's squad leader now.
And
it's kind of like Gerry and Monkey Jeebus, huh?
Here is when they learn the truth that the guards are planning to kill them.
Yeah, they're going to go home because they're starving. They want to go back home.
Yeah, one of the guys is able to understand them, and supplies are running low, and everybody is starving. So they're like, yeah. As Don would say, fuck that noise, we kill them and go home.
They feel the need that they want to kill them so they can go home. And that's what they do.
Now Eugene is in on the plan.
Of course. What else can he do?
Yeah. He finally stops believing that they will let him go.
Yeah, because they know it's gonna be. They don't know.
I remember when he got pissed at Eugene. Eugene's like, "I'm going to eat my share of the rice." Because it's not your rice; it's our rice. And we have to survive on it.
They are under pressure now. They have to execute their plan.
This has to happen. It needs to happen in a very specific way. Exactly. So he's going over the plans one more time, and they begin the process. And now we move into the third act of the film. I don't think sending unqualified into war helps McNamara's morons operation send 100,000 by the accounts, ending up killing more colleagues than enemies. I'm not sure how to even get into that right now. That's too big to unpack right now. That's something Dawn and I could go into on Wednesday.
Here's
the many mistakes by McNamara.
There are many.
Unless Don loves
Don't get
McNamara.
me going.
I think Don loves McNamara.
Oh.
McNamara and he are buddies.
I seriously doubt it.
No, he hates McNamara.
Yeah, Ford Corporation War. Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we go. The action begins. This is the only real action scene outside of the fly scene at the beginning, where he's moving towards the kitchen with Dwayne.
And they have to split up. He's
Dwayne
with Wayne
gets
and
his
Eugene
weapon.
takes the others.
Yeah, they find the weapons and they start moving around, and Dwayne drops to the ground puking because of what's about to happen. The stress level is too high for him, and he throws up. And he's like, "Come on, Dwayne, we got to go." And he's slow, and so Dieter turns that corner by himself, alone. He's the only one there, and he takes on these guards, and he kills all but the two. One runs away, and the little guy, and he tells the little guy, "Go."
Yeah, the little guy is no danger, but the other guy running off to alarm the NVA, he's the reason why they need to go to the jungle.
And then he gets angry because the slippers aren't there, their shoes, because they needed those. And like, why aren't the shoes here? So they steal whatever food that's there, and they just haul ass out of there. They got to go now because of the two that survived and got away. Well, one they let get away.
Who's that talking in the background?
Oh, that's probably over on Don's end. He's got Vicky there. She's in the background.
She's watching the news.
Oh, I can't do that. This is the scene that it took place this way, and this is in Dieter's memory how the dialogue went. But we found out later by the Thai guy that when he reported to the CIA, because he was with Air America, if he didn't, that was mentioned early on, and he was with Air America. And so when they got someone in to ask questions, his information that he gave was that it wasn't quite like this, that Dieter blamed him, but they were prevented from getting to the kitchen on time. And that Dieter punished them by making them go a different direction and not go together. And it led to them getting recaptured. While Dieter and Dwayne would have had a better chance of survival if he hadn't done this by separating them. They would have had a greater chance of survival going together.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the heat of the moment, man, you make decisions, life-altering decisions. You got to stick with them. So he chooses to go with Dwayne and tells Eugene and the other guy to go wherever they're going to go. I'm not going to tell you where to go. You figure it out. And that's what Eugene's pissed off here about, that I don't know where to go. I don't know where I'm going. And I'm going to go this way in a very sarcastic way. And that's how it ended. So he and Dwayne hit the jungle. And they're trying to get
that annoying plant
river
again. They're fighting hard against.
Well, the kudzu's not so thick here, but he runs into kudzu later. In fact, the moment, that tragic moment when it happens, he tries to run through kudzu, and you can't run through kudzu.
No,
it will not let you through. It's a mesh of vines.
And it's finally raining. So
I love this scene.
They have water.
You can drink the water from the leaf, just like in the film strip. Oh shit, mudslide. And they end up getting caught in that mudslide and dragged down to the bottom, and it's just bad.
And the food goes down in the mud.
They're so screwed. Wow.
You really feel bad.
Yes, he let the dwarf live. He let him go because he never did anything to him. He was not part of it. He was clearly not wanting to be there either. And these conversations with Dwayne, during the escape are important because later it comes back on Dieter. We can float. Always thinking ahead, always planning. There's that shit. Kudzu. God, I hate that stuff.
Well, he was squad leader before he got shot down, wasn't he? He's
Who?
used to being in Dieter.
No, he wasn't squad leader. I thought squad leader was his buddy. Or was he? I don't know. I have to go back. See, they break the rules of War II by escaping. Aren't they supposed to wait and get negotiations? Not if they're being tortured.
No.
Yeah.
They are not supposed.
There's nothing illegal about this at all.
It is recognized that the first obligation of a prisoner of war is try to escape.
Try to escape. It's part of SEER training. I went through SEER training. It's a volunteer program in the military because it's rough, and they only want volunteers because it is so rough.
Well, kind of like being a cop, your primary objective is to get home alive and well at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
Well, I viewed war the same way. My primary job was to try to get home well and not screw it up. And anything got in the way,
somebody else killed. That's a fear of every grunt.
Anything else got in the way, then you deal with it at the time.
That's right.
Now, you can
Again,
say
this is them doing their own
that.
stunts.
Absolutely. This is when they realize they are in trouble because there's a waterfall ahead.
Yeah,
so they need to get to the band.
Get off the raft, and they got to get to the edge of the river, and they barely make it, and the raft goes over and gets destroyed. But they did their own stunts in these rapids, man.
Yeah,
water. People don't understand how dangerous doing that is. It is dangerous. I used to float trip on rapids, and it's rough. And Dwayne, you just watch him, his mind, everything is just getting worse every scene. And they hit that point where they realize these weapons are just not going to do us any good at this point.
It's just useless weight. So, yeah.
Oh, and the leeches. God, the leeches. They use real leeches.
That was ugly. Yeah.
Those are real leeches. No special prosthetics. Those are real. They got leeches on their body. They peel them off.
Well, at least he did. I don't think we see Dwayne pulling off his leeches, but Bane went all in with that.
Yeah, Christian Bale. Method.
Yeah.
Elephant leaves, man, are great for capturing water.
And for covering up.
And for covering up. Dwayne is like, he's just losing it. I can't do this anymore. You got to leave me, and he won't leave him.
No, he keeps telling him, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. You just rest.
Just a little bit further. We'll be fine. You can make it.
Look who's here.
Hey, Kingsport Cal. What's up, buddy?
Cal, hi. Good to see you.
Feed them to the Rancor and the Sarlacc.
What? Oh,
Chiba said feed him to the Rancor and the Sarlacc. I can't remember. Is this the scene where they throw the guns?
Must be somewhere around.
Because it's right around this point, because we're getting close to when they find that abandoned village.
Yeah.
Just look at him. He's got the constant, like, his mouth is like this.
And his eyes are dead.
His dead eyes. He is just absolutely at the end of it. If he doesn't get rescued soon, he's just gonna die. Yeah, this is where he throws the weapons into the water and says, these are weighing us down. We need to move quicker. Trying to get through that kudzu, because the only thing they've got is that one machete. And I can't remember, do they still have it at this point?
Yeah, they have it.
Yeah, he still has it.
Yeah.
Getting through that jungle, especially the kudzu, man, you've got to have him.
He uses it to scare away the villagers later. So, yeah, he has it.
I'm glad you like this film, Cal. This is a great movie, man. Although this is it. He's touching that fern that closes up when you touch it. And he's fascinated by it, but he's like, I'm done. I don't want to go any further.
I was fascinated by that.
Let
I
me
didn't know
die.
there's plants that do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. How long do they stay closed, those leaves?
They eventually open up. It's a slow thing. It's a reaction, because they need their photosynthesis. So they're going to open back up. But if they feel threatened, they close up.
See, vegans are evil.
Shut up, Martin.
He's almost practically carrying Dwayne at this point through this jungle. Dwayne
And
has
that's
just
when he finds the
nothing left.
village, I think.
And he finds this old, he points out, he goes,
Yeah.
this is a village. It's been abandoned, but it's a village. We can get shelter here is really what he's saying. So he's just sitting there. And again, he's like, I'm done. Just get some rest. We'll rest
Yeah,
here.
Dieter is not giving up on him.
And this leads to this exciting moment. 2 moments here. And one of them is so frustrating because helicopters.
When they shoot at them. Oh, yeah.
Well, the first time it doesn't. First time he's waving at him. Did he hear him? Did they see him? Because it is hard to hear. Anima was like, can they hear from him? I'm like, yeah, you can hear things from the helicopter. When those doors are open, you can hear a lot of stuff, but it's got to be loud for you to hear it over the sound of that motor. Because when the windows, the door hatches are open, you're right below that engine and those blades going.
Yeah, I think they didn't see him or hear him. I mean, he's pretty
this
camouflaged
is the
in
true
that
story
suit.
of an actual escape. That was my problem with Deer Hunters. It's not based in reality. But I do like the Deer Hunter. But I will never watch it again.
It's so depressing.
Oh my God, I get so depressed watching that movie. And look at it. He looks so bad here. The acting by Steven Zahn, those eyes, the way his eyes look. And he's talking to another version of him. He goes, be quiet. Because in his mind, he's elsewhere and Dieter's being loud. He's telling him to be quiet. And he says, come here, lay down, buddy. Lay down. And he kissed him right before this. He kissed him on the shoulder before laying him down.
It's like caring for a child.
He says, lay here and get some rest.
And he's
but yeah, it has similar themes. It does have similar themes. Cal, absolutely. I agree with you. And this is where he starts gathering stuff and he gets an idea. And he does the bamboo thing here and starts a fire. I learned something.
Yeah.
And even I did. I'm like, holy shit, you can do that. Oh, man.
He's always like, he learned all the stuff from the videos they showed him before the mission.
Here's
he
what
learned that from.
Helicopters see him because that's a big-ass fire. But he gets a reaction he doesn't expect when they open fire on him.
Because they think it's Vietnamese people.
He's Viet Cong. What's that line from Full Metal Jacket? If they run, they're VC. If they don't run,
they're well-trained
well-disciplined. Well-disciplined
VC, yeah. The crazy guy in the helicopter shooting at everything. That cracked me up.
And it's the next day he wakes up. He missed the whole thing. And he says, I dripped fire. There was a fire. And, this place really burned. It wasn't just a dream. And you can see Dieter feels a little defeated at this point.
Yeah, because nothing goes as planned. Nothing.
Yeah, that did not work.
They lose
so
the
they've
flow.
got to get to the river.
They get attention, but the wrong kind of attention by the helicopters.
And so they begin moving again. And this is one of the toughest moments in the film where I just had trouble with this scene because I knew it was coming because I knew the true story. They get spotted by these villagers and the kid drops the buckets and runs as the villagers run up with machetes and
they don't
sickles.
like Americans.
No, they don't. And they're yelling, whatever that word is, to them, trying to, please don't hurt us. We're not armed, They're
begging for food.
And the one guy kills Dwayne, cuts his head off. And it really happened. And
Well,
he
first
freaked
he
out.
cuts his leg and then he cuts his
He
head
freaks
off.
out and he starts waving the knife. They back up and he takes off running through the jungle and they chase. And he is now running for his life again. And then great moment here of him hiding in the shrubbery. Again, just like in the training film, hiding from your pursuers.
Yeah. Let them think you're still running.
And so he's just, this is probably the most defeated. And he starts having haunting moments with Dwayne. He keeps hearing Dwayne looking around. He's hiding from these fuckers.
Yeah.
Because they're hunting him.
It's so heartbreaking. Like, he's basically carried this dude all the way up to this point, and now he's alone.
And mixture of NVA and VC.
How this dude made it out alive.
It's really a miracle. It really is. But his will to survive was that great.
Oh, yeah.
And
Other
again,
people would have lost it.
He fantasizes that Dwayne's with him here. And Dwayne,
No,
we
he's
actually
not.
see Dwayne.
He's not fantasizing.
Yeah, he is.
He's hallucinating with him.
Yeah, he's hallucinating.
It's hallucination, fantasy.
And Dwayne always says the same thing, or his ghost or hallucination or whatever. He always says,
A
my
hallucination
feet are
is
cold.
just a
Because-
fantasy that's more manifest. And and then he's realizes he's not really there.
Because he always says, my feet are cold, and he is
It's
he
all
wants
those
to give him
things that
the-
I kept saying.
the
Pay
one
attention to what he
shoe that
says.
they have.
Yep, shared that one shoe.
He pulls off the shoe and turns around to
Here's
give it
the
to
snake
Dwayne and then
scene.
realizes
This is
not a
this
shoe.
is Anima's
It's a
favorite
soul.
scene.
it's a soul.
This is
Yeah, but they make a shoe.
this is Anima's favorite scene
Yes, it
Oh my
is.
goodness.
Fuck you, Gerry.
with the real snake. He captures it and then he takes an actual bite out of this snake on camera, tearing
Yeah.
skin.
No.
He had twisted its head back so it can't bite him.
According to
And-
what I found out, Cal, there were 7 in total who managed to escape.
And he
He is one of 2 that I know of that escaped and actually escaped captivity.
Yeah,
And here he is doing the exact thing that dude did in the film strip, waving at the flag, waving instead of like a cloth, he's waving a leaf. Everything in that film strip happens in the film. And I
Yes.
love that he did that. They showed that, him screaming at this thing. There's the spotting plane, and it's, giving the report back, and helicopters are going to come in. And I love this. The wind hits him, man, and he's so light that he almost falls off that damn hook that they dropped to him. But this is one of my favorite moments because they want to make clear who he is. So they said, what is your I forgot what that's called in the military. They say something, you're supposed to say something back. Whatever that phrase is. No, it's not password. It's your personal thing you're supposed to respond with, and his is Rescue Dawn. And that's that great moment where you get to hear the character say the name of the film in the film. I love that.
Yeah.
And it's something that Mac and I, our voice on our host or master voice for our show on Wednesday does. He and I've joked about that for years.
In reality, the whole rescue process was even more.
It was way more
miraculous.
convoluted than this. They had to simplify it.
Because the pilot of the plane, nobody believes him, and he was with that thought in his head that this is one of us, and went and talked with the superiors, and the guy fought for that mission, for that rescue mission.
What's your favorite team? He says, I don't like teams. I don't watch sports. Confirmed, it's him. He hugs that dude behind him. What a good scene.
And how he holds him in the helicopter.
And now the CIA try to take over. It's now black ops, they say.
They do take over. They have him isolated.
He needs to be isolated. Nobody can have direct contact with him other than medical personnel. They hustle him off that helicopter, put an IV in him, get his fluids up, get some nutrients in him, get some sugar in him. And
question him. And he's like, please stop.
I wonder who the CIA guys are. You really can't tell.
Men in Black?
Men in Black, yeah.
Hated them sons of bitches.
No sons of bitches.
Oh, yeah.
The nurse is like, trying to be nice to him, but she looks back, like, you're not going anywhere with these guys, and lets him know. I can't remember who tells him. Was it her that lets him know that they're planning to keep him? Or no, it's his buddies. It's his buddies. When they show up. Here they come. These are guys. This is his wingman right there. That dude that plays the psycho in Cop Shop.
Because they're not letting him rot in there with the CIA guys. So keep asking him the same questions.
He was the best psycho ever.
Yeah, he's really good as a psycho killer. So they come in here. Hey, it's his birthday, man. Can you give us a few minutes alone? Just a few minutes, man. Yeah. They
have an airmail letter and say, that's from his fiance. So please, dude, some privacy here. So
they're getting ready to take you to a very secret place, and you will never probably get out of there. So you got to come with us. And he's just so happy to see his friends, man.
Yeah, they're like, you think we let you rot in here? Nah. So they smuggle him out. It's genius how they pulled that off.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, he's one of two who escaped captivity.
Yeah, I read on one of the pages that came up in my research that 7 escaped in total. I don't know if they were all Americans. They escaped,
but they were all recaptured. Everybody got recaptured except for him from that group.
By the way, with the CIA guys, they tell him, the letter of his fiancé.
Give him a couple minutes.
He's teared up a bit, so give him a couple.
It's really emotional. Just give him 2 or 3 minutes, and I love the way this helicopter just sends that little wheeled tray flying, and he's like, "Oh my God, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are you taking me?"
Back to the carrier.
And they take him right back to the carrier, man. I love that. And he goes, "Where is everybody? Are they off? Why aren't they on the deck? Where is everybody?" And they go down the elevator. I love this scene. This is great.
Oh, yeah. That's so emotional.
Where is everybody? I wanted to see everybody. And then there they are.
Look at how thin he is. He lost over 50 pounds for that role.
55.
Yeah.
55, man. Yeah, it's a great moment, man.
Welcome back a hero.
I'm almost down that now.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember I was gaunt at 220 in the Army. That was the thinnest I ever was. My skin was at under 10% body fat.
Well, I was down to 343 this morning, which is a long way to go to 220.
Yeah, I was 13% when I joined the Army, and I got under 10%.
Step by step, Sean, you'll get there.
Yeah, I know.
It's easily attainable. You just have commit to it. That's it. You've clearly committed to it. You don't have a choice now.
Nope. That's why I did it.
And I love this scene.
His last words.
His last words. And scratch where it itches.
What a great movie.
Now it's astounding. 4,000 crew in that
It's a movie
carrier.
I could watch more than once because despite that one moment in it, this is a very uplifting film.
Yes, it is.
And he crashed 4 more times.
Yeah.
And so he became a test pilot. Where crashing is part of the job.
Yeah.
I'm so happy about that film. I love that movie.
The things that this dude survived, man.
Yeah, a Metal Gear Solid scene. Yeah, dude.
What does he mean?
Thanks,
some prisoner camps did move, by the way, Monkey. I I don't know if it was in Vietnam, but I do know that there have been points when there are high value target prisoners that they would constantly move them. If they didn't move the prisons, they moved the prisoners.
Well, don't forget what happened at Sante.
Remind us.
The Sante raid. North Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now, the SF assault team that went in there ended up killing a bunch of Chinese communist troops were there, but they had already moved all the POWs.
Yep.
So, yeah, they were scooting guys around all the time.
That is, because I had talked to Dale about that a long time ago, that should be made into a film.
The Sante raid, yeah.
Yeah. Despite it being a dry hole, that's a hell of a fight that took place there. And yes, Wolf is losing weight, man. We're very proud of him, man. Very proud of him. I'm going to go ahead, even though it'll freak out Anima. So I was getting my medicine set up for the week. I always do that at nighttime. Last thing, I like doing things for bed, washing dishes, because I feel like I completed something. And I like setting up my pills for the week, because I have that daily thing, And I'm setting it up last night, and I pulled all the pills out of the little bag I keep them in. And when I did, I'm holding the bag right here, and I pulled one of the bags out, and something dropped on me. I'm like, oh, what was that? I look down, and in the wrinkle of my shirt, there's this little recluse spider. He's looking right at me, like, hey, dude, what's up? He didn't move. He just sat there like, hey, so we're neighbors now? We're friends? And I went, there's a lot of room in this garage where you could have gone. And I'm the only thing in this room that would kill you. You have made a very bad mistake.
Yeah, well,
and because he was on my shirt, so I just smashed him into my shirt. I wasn't worried about getting bit by him because their fangs aren't that long, and so the odds are against him actually biting me. So I just went and killed
Gerry,
him.
that was so brave.
Fuck you, Don.
You don't freak me out with stories like that, Gerry. I would have freaked out if I was sitting next to you, but
and I threw him away and. I went, yeah, I'm going to post about this, and it's going to freak Anima out.
No.
But I'm not going to stop talking about stuff just because it freaks you out. Because when stuff happens to me, I'm really highly amused by it. It's like, that's fucking funny.
I'm amused.
It's like that one day I was in my office back when I lived with John Chance and Travis. And I looked up on the ceiling, and there's this recluse coming down at me. And I backed the seat up. And I stood up and I grabbed a cloth, and I'm like, there's over 104 square feet in this room where you could have dropped and not been murdered. But you chose
because you're
me.
A magnet for those spiders.
I am.
Apparently,
always
yeah.
been a magnet for spiders. Other people should feel safe around me because they're drawn to me.
You should have been nicer to the spider and said before killing it, look at the flowers. Look at the flowers.
I'm questioning myself now.
You can save those arachnid stories until you have a rattlesnake come into your domicile.
Oh, I've dealt with those.
Bite your pet, and then hide in your office.
Let me tell you, dude. I grew up in Phoenix. Okay,
we have a breach.
I had so many horrifying moments in Phoenix, dude, growing up with rattlesnakes, scorpions, but the one that got me was watching a carpet of tarantulas during their migration. And that freaked me the hell out. I remember Zoe, she was not prepared for that. She wanted to take a phone call from a boy. And, it was her grandmother. It was her grandmother. I stand correct. It was her grandmother. We're in Phoenix at my sister's, and she went outside on the back patio. I warned her about going outside at night. And but she went out back in the dark and starts talking on the phone with her Nana, not paying attention. When she finished the phone call, she turns to go back in the house, and there's a giant hand-sized tarantula on the sliding glass near the handle.
Okay, so it's just a tarantula.
So she began crying.
Oh, well, I guess she is.
And
Girl,
my
so.
cousin or her cousins, my nieces, are all like, "Look, Zoe," it's sort of like, "We're sorry you had to be the one to go." Kind of moment where they're like, "We're not helping you. You're on your own." They're all crying. They come running up into my room. Zoe's trapped in the backyard by a tarantula, a giant spider. So I go downstairs and I looked there. I said, "Go around to the fence." "But it's not lit over there." "Go around to the fence and go through the gate. I'll go open the gate for you." I just rolled my eyes and I went out there and I did that. And she's like, "I'm so horrified, Dad." I said, "That spider's more scared of you than you are of it."
Oh,
We have two
I'm
breaches.
going to give Gibbs his video.
Joe
Spider
breaches.
war crimes. Yes,
I got a tarantula story.
Okay, let's hear it, Don.
Where we live, okay, a lot of wild critters around here. And this is about 20 years ago. But one night, it was on a Sunday, I was sitting in the living room watching TV, and a commercial came on, and I got up to do something, and I looked on the wall, and on the wall was this fist-sized tarantula crawling up the wall. And I saw that thing, and I was first, my breath caught in my throat. So in our recyclable can, I had a coffee can in there. And I grabbed that coffee can, and I went up and I trapped the tarantula and put the lid on it. And Vicky came out, and she said, "What are you going to do with it?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to put some air holes in it, and tomorrow morning I'll stick it outside." And she said, "Okay." So she went back into the bedroom, and I put some air holes in this thing. Then the evil side of me came out.
Oh, God.
And I slipped out back, and I tossed this tarantula into the bushes. And I went back in, and I took a can opener, and I pried the side of the thing open like it had broken out. And I went in and went to bed. 4:30 in the morning, she came in screaming. And she had gone out to the kitchen. And she saw that.
She's still married to you, man.
Yeah, I wonder.
She lost it. And I started laughing and laughing.
How are you still alive, Don?
There was a time, Don, that if
would've
somebody
killed
did
you.
that to me, people back home would be wondering why he don't write no more.
Yeah,
It's like, whatever happened to Don Ecker?
If I had been in her place, I would have killed you, man.
Well,
Like
maybe
that scene in Psycho 2 when
maybe Vic
Norman
is playing
Bates-
the long game.
You remember Psycho 2 where Norman Bates meets his actual biological mother? Because his mother was his aunt. He finds out his mother was real, or supposedly within the storyline. And so she comes over and he gives her the tea. It's poison tea. And he's standing behind her and she starts to drink the tea. And before she can drink the poison tea, he takes a shovel and just smashes her across the head and kills her. And I'm like, I laughed so hard at that scene. And I'm like going, am I fucked up for laughing at that?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
That was a great moment in Psycho. And I'm like, that's what would have happened to somebody who did a spider prank on me.
John, I think that was a rhetorical question.
Although I will tell you, Don, I did prank a buddy of mine. It was my buddy Craig who died, his eldest son, TJ. TJ is the one that said when I was going out on a date, and Marshall's with him, and he says, "Hi, where are you going?" I said, I'm going on a date. And they said, "Oh, gonna get you some ass or something like that." And I just stopped and I'm like, "What?" And then TJ goes, "Shit, that boy couldn't get ass off a toilet seat." I started laughing, going, I'm so insulted by that, but that's the best fucking burn I've ever been given. That was fucking awesome. But shit, boy, that boy couldn't get no ass off a toilet seat.
Well, with all the spider
so TJ
stories,
goes walking into the bathroom after we said, because recluses get trapped in porcelain because it's too smooth and they can't climb out of it. And so a recluse, a big male, was trapped in my bathtub. And it's skittering, trying to get. And TJ goes walking there. He does that thing where he slow walks, taking long wide step to look into the bathtub. And I'm like, I can't fucking help it. I walked up behind him and I pushed him towards the bathtub. And he went, "Hi!" And he jumped and he leapt back at me. He goes, "Stop fucking around, man."
We have 3 breaches now, Gerry. By 3 different people.
So let me get to the first one from Monkey. All right, here's Monkey's. This is the one he likes, he wants. And I'm going to give it to him because he's a good friend.
And then I got...
We can get in through the back door.
I got a suggestion.
Yeah, man.
I would cut him down to 2 backdoor breaches a week. And anything beyond that.
Might be a good idea.
Use them wisely, mister.
Yes.
Go! Use the back door. I'll stall the crowd. Go.
I like that one.
By the way,
I'm going to go check the back door.
Back door.
There you go. All
I
right.
found a new Bob's Burgers back door.
Oh,
This is
sweet.
great.
Excellent. We can make that one today.
I think
but,
with all these spider stories, I think Gary's new nickname should be Spiderbait.
Spiderbait. Spiderbait. Does whatever Spiderbait does. Anima backdoor. Military backdoor by Keith. Glad you understand Joe's. Oh, man. So here's Joe's comment. What is this? That's a shame at John O'Staines. I used to feel that way until I started
in
seeing
relation with this one. First is this one.
most of my vet friends who were banged and burned up during training for war don't feel worthy of the same respect as combat vets, but I can't convince them that they deserve the same respect. I don't know if we feel that way. But what I do know is that I see and perceive the difference between myself and my buddies that are combat vets. And there is a great respect from vets to combat vets. And it's that simple. You know, it's they go to the head of the line. It's sort of like if you have a line to the doctor's office, because I believe that the VA should be dismantled and that we should be given just simply a program, insurance program, that we go see the doctors of our damn choice. And that we stop having these freaking problems. But that veterans should be allowed to be at the front of the line with, with regular people. They have their own line. They don't stand in the same line. They have their own line to go see the doctor. And but at the head of that line should be combat veterans. Anybody who's been in combat, seen combat. Period. And back in the day, like the Vietnam War, I was explaining something, Don, to Anima about how patches were worn in the military. And if you saw a patch on the left sleeve, even before you see the hashes for tours, the tour hashes showing that they had been deployed, if you see that patch on the left arm, that meant not just rank, but you see their unit patch, that's a sign that you've got somebody that's been deployed during combat. And it was that way in Vietnam, as I recall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if they still do it, but they were still doing it when I was in.
I'll tell you what, I had 2 deployments over there, but I never had any hashtags on my greens.
Why?
I was never anywhere to wear them. All my time was overseas, and where I was, you didn't wear greens. Okay. Of course, in those days, that was a dress uniform, greens, and if I wore anything, it was the tans.
Yeah, that was your one of your dress uniforms was the tan uniform, and right. But your Class A's were identical to the ones we wore because we wore the same Vietnam era Class A's when I was in.
But what I'm telling you is I was never anywhere, and believe me, in Southeast Asia, it was too damned hot to wear those. They were not required.
Sorry, I just realized it's Julia Dye's birthday today. Happy birthday, Julia. Wow. She's dealing with family right now. they've been her and Dale have been out of contact because they're visiting family right now. A lot of stuff going on, medical stuff. It's always medical, dealing with their mom. So send your positive thoughts out to Julie and her mom.
Tell her I wish her happy birthday too, will you?
Sure.
Hey, well, look, gang, I've got a split.
Got to pee?
I got a split.
You drink too much? You got to pee?
I just had my fruit smoothie and
oh yes, you got stuff going, man. I've been there.
Well, thanks for joining.
Don't be like Dwayne.
Yeah.
Don't be like Dwayne.
My fruit smoothie and my grapes. That was breakfast. Hey, you
Sounds
guys
delicious.
be good. And see you.
I'll see you
Well, if I
later.
don't talk to you between now and then, I'll see you Wednesday.
Well, we got to figure out what we're doing Wednesday and for bus shows. I've got some ideas. But I always want to hear your ideas first because you always have better ideas than me.
Well, give me a shout.
Okay.
Have a good day, Don.
Okay,
Bye,
guys.
Don.
Be good.
Then, man.
Good to see you.
And then there were 4.
The usual 4, you should say. It's always just us.
Just you guys. God.
Those goddamn regulars. How boring.
I feel so dejected right now. I think I'm gonna leave.
Thank God he's gone.
Why you say gringo?
Yeah. Hey, Martin, I didn't know you were still here. Got fooled by that. Good one. Good
He
one.
came back into the back door.
No,
By the way, I
no,
did that
never.
When I was in
I know.
second grade
wouldn't.
in Phoenix, or was it third grade? Third grade. I was in third grade in Phoenix, going to I forget the name of it, Alhambra, and on the playground during recess, man, it was like a gang war broke out. One group versus another group, and it was the first time I outwitted somebody because I didn't want to fight. I didn't want any part of what was going on. This one kid grabbed me. I said, "What are you doing? I'm on your group." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And I walked away going, "Whew." And I walked away from that fight. I'm like, Jesus, and went back inside and hid. I didn't want any part of that fight. Alhambra. It's actually a really good, it's still there. The school's still there. Now you're abusing the back door. Okay. We're going to allow you the same thing. You get 2 a week, Wade. 2.
And we're keeping
No,
track.
I'll put it this way.
I don't think you can
get
fool
1
us.
per show. Backdoor joke. 1 per show. Same with Monkey. 1 per show. He never had to need to get his class A's up to spec. He never had to wear them. Yeah. Yeah. If you're in the jungle a lot, if you're active all the time, where are you going to wear them? There comes a point where you just like avoid those situations where you need them. And the silverback of saucers and most interesting man in the world both try to pull an Irish exit. Okay, I'm Irish and I don't know what that means. What's an Irish exit?
I don't either.
When you
All
leave
right, I got
without saying goodbye.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, Don said goodbye.
Oh, without telling you, I've done that many a time.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, where did Gerry go? I left. I went home. I got bored. I hate being around people for long periods of time. I take about an hour tops, and then I'm like, I gotta go. I'm worn out.
People are exhausting.
Yeah, you got caught backdoor. There you go.
Yeah, wait, you're down to 2.
I'll give you one more. Here's one more because this hasn't been played in a while.
Like, wouldn't you know that back door would trigger a trap door? Yeah.
So
We haven't played that in ages. That's right.
weeks, months.
Months, I think.
But anyway, so that film is really one of my favorite movies. And if you've never seen it, it is available on Amazon, on Roku TV. You can probably find it in a bargain bin somewhere, or if you got used stores where they sell used videos. Go look, see what they've got. You can order it through Walmart,
Amazon.
But that
Watch
movie
this
is
movie.
an amazing film. But the documentary that inspired it is available for free. I'll get the link real quick.
I highly recommend it. I watched it last night. I didn't. Wow.
And he took him back there.
Yeah.
Where
And
it
they
happened.
reenacted some things. And
Yeah, and he gave detailed description of what happened, how it happened.
And
The fact that he pulled that off is mind-blowing. Go back and live through it again. I mean,
I have a theory that Dieter, he survived because he, in fact, was a weirdo. There was nothing nothing could keep him down.
He just wouldn't give into it.
he is a weirdo. Like after watching these training videos, and he goes to make all these changes to his equipment, you're like, this dude is weird. But that is exactly what saves his life.
On his interviews, he's narrating all that horrible stuff that he has to go through, and he was doing it with always with a smile. He never allowed to be broken.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
So here you go. Here's the link to go watch the documentary online at YouTube for free. Boom. And
how long is it?
There's a scene. It's
1 hour.
It's a little over an hour. But the thing is there's a scene near the beginning when he goes to his house where he opens and closes doors, and he comes off his OCD. And I do believe it is a form of OCD, but he also feels that there's a reason behind it, that being a prisoner of war made him really appreciate doors. And having doors.
The freedom of being capable of opening the door.
Yeah, opening the door.
They have this moment though, when he realizes it's not the bamboo huts that are the prison; it's the jungle.
Yeah.
Yep.
The hardships of the jungle keep you.
That's the true prison. And that made me think about that island that we have here, Goliath, it means Naked Island. That used to be a prison. And they were they had factories that they were fully self-sustained over there. And there were no walls, but it was a prison because the currents are so strong in the sea that you couldn't get away without having a real boat. And it's kind of cruel, I think.
Well, they had a place called Devil's Island. It's featured in the movie Papillon, made in, 1973 with Steve McQueen.
Same thing, yeah.
Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman. Great film. I remember seeing that at the Senate Theater in South Bend, Indiana, real close to campus for Notre Dame. And we were there to see Notre Dame play that weekend, and we ended up going to see Papillon too in the theater. And I love that movie. My dad introduced me to more normal films, not just kid films. I went to see kid films too. I saw Pippi Longstocking as a kid. I went to see all the Disney movies, the Boatniks, all that crap, But man, I loved going to see real movies.
Oh,
and Papillon was something else, man. Seeing that on the big screen.
Do I have something to tell you about Papillon when we're off air? Oh.
Brian's doing a Kung Fu show tomorrow. I love Kung Fu movies. In fact, I'm going to ask about the rumor that Keith was actually Bruce Leroy in Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon movie. It is not him. But you know what? I made a mistake with that guy. I thought he was the same actor that played Worf's brother. He did play a Klingon in Star Trek, but it was not the same. For some reason, I got that actor confused with the other actor. And but I love that movie, Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. That's a fun movie.
Well, all Klingons look alike, so
shut up, you racist!
I can't believe you said that. How dare you, John?
How dare you? I made a joke the other day about her. I said, she's over 18 now, and yet still nobody looks up nude pictures of her.
Gee, I wonder why.
Because she's ugly. And she's got an ugly soul, too.
We have 3 minutes. Oh my God.
her ugly
God.
goes beyond skin deep. She's ugly to the soul. Oh, man. 4 minutes, man. Got to say goodbye. Tomorrow's going to be Brian's, or no. There's no show tomorrow. Well, it'll be a repeat tomorrow.
Yeah, because
I still got to talk with Chris. I still need to talk to Chris because he was interested in Tuesdays.
Chris
DiPerno.
Chris DiPerno. So we'll find out. I'll talk to him today. But yeah, I'll be back Wednesday with Dawn. We're going to do UFO Wednesday and, of course, Dangerous Military Nerds in the afternoon. And then Thursday is going to be Brian's show.
Hey, you see, Don told us what he did to Dawn. I know. Oh, so I'm sorry. I'm wrong wife.
What was that?
I was going to make a. Oh my goodness! I was going to make a pun with the name.
How dare you derail this show and not have something to do it with? You have nothing. You have nothing, sir. Nothing.
What is the NATO said as? I
don't know. I got to do my thank yous. Is this going to last long?
Okay, go.
I want to thank John Ostains, Dragon Ruse, D. Bud Martin, Andy Morrow, LDG Free the Net, Munkachi Bus. Thank you. Come again. Penny was here. Joe's Atmosphere. Hojo dropped in. Cavatino Calverman Che was here. Let's see. Zach's Cal dropped in. Kingsport Cal, our good friend Cal. Alex Moore. Peter Vinkman's Fansite, also known as Vinkman's Girl, was here. Real Wade Nation. And that looks like it. That's it. Thanks for everybody for dropping in. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. I hope you guys have a good week. Everybody, please have a great Monday. And with that, we're out of here.
Guys.
Those sons of bitches.
Ma, I'm doing a show.